when you know how African mothers are now. When you
You
guys
never,
are, be careful. And I'm like, why can't you just say?
Okay, if you want to make that,
I'm telling you, my mom doesn't.
Hi besties, welcome back to another YouTube video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nkem and this is my friend Vivian.
Hello.
She eventually, finally, after since when?
I think
May.
last year.
May. It's nearly a year now. Finally decided to start her YouTube channel. I'm going to put a link on the description box to her page. So say hi.
Hello everyone. My name is Vivian. Just like Nkem said. Welcome everyone. So
yeah, so this is such like an impromptu video. We sort of decided to do this last minute and here we are. I've been wanting to film well with someone. Not every time you people just see my face on here, but I've been wanting like for a very long time to actually film with a friend and we're doing it. So yes, I'm very excited. Today's video is about culture shock that you've experienced since living in England. Like, what are the different things that we've noticed, generally around us? We're both from Nigeria, we're both Igbos, and there are certain things we're used to.
yeah.
But, since we moved here, or at least since I moved here, there's kind of like things that I've noticed around that are just weird, like borderline weird. So those are things we're going to talk about, and if you'd want to hear more, listen to more, let's just keep on watching. So I'm going to start first.
Okay.
And maybe when I speak on experience, you can contribute to it, and then you speak on your experience and I can contribute to it.
Okay,
I've got loads of culture shock. But one thing that stood out for me was, you know how in Nigeria everybody's auntie and uncle, sir and ma. There's nothing like that. You can be speaking to me, and I'm in nursing, and we're used to having a lot of mummies in nursing in Nigeria that you will chase after. You're going to lick their nyash so that they will do something for you. Even do the bare. In fact,
bare minimum.
I remember in school when I was doing community health posting. It was a 6 credit unit load course, and during that posting, I was posted to a wedding towards Nsukka.
Yeah.
I was sleeping on a cement floor,
really?
On top of a mat, and a wrapper on top of the mat. It was horrible. I was sick every day. I had asthma. It was during rainy season. It was absolutely horrible. And guess what? Because I wasn't carrying handbag for this woman, a course that I passed, I did everything. I was part of the presentation group. I did my research. I was outstanding. I was supposed to have an A. She gave me a B. A freaking B.
Is that like a placement or something?
Yeah, so you're usually placed to community hospitals in villages where you're supposed to go and work, and you're there for like 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's generally for 6 weeks. If you're lucky, you get somewhere closer to town. I was one of the unlucky ones. I was posted to a wedding in Nsukka. It's very close to, where is that from? You know that junction when you're going to UNN, you get to the junction, you make a left. If you it was very, I've forgotten the name of it. I've forgotten what the junction is called. It's at the intersection. If you live in Enugu or you're from Enugu, you know what I'm talking about. It's at that intersection that connects to the new road. There's a new road that goes from Ababanike to Nsukka. It was one of the new roads that Sullivan did, and it became quite popular.
Yeah.
It's very close to that place. It was terrible. So because I wasn't sucking up to the lady, and that's the word, sucking up to her, I got a B. So I'm used to ma, yes sir. My matron, you call my matron by their name. My manager, you call them by their name. Everybody's name is their name. You call them by their name, and nobody even expects you to have, that prefix of auntie or uncle towards them here. So that's one thing. One thing for me.
I think I can relate to that in some way, because sometimes when you say good morning ma, they'll be
they
like,
look at you very like, what's that? Who's your ma?
So they'll be like, my name is Karen. Good morning, Karen. So they'll prefer that. So it's kind of, I can relate to that somehow. For me, it's how they keep to time. Oh my god.
No African time. Oh my
No
god.
African time. I can remember when I first moved here, it was I basically missed all my appointments. Like when I have an appointment for 5 and I'll get there like even if it's 5 minutes after 5, they'll say sorry we can't attend to you. And it was just disheartening. So I started keeping to time. So I think one of the things that was a shocker for me and has also helped me is just keeping to time. Yeah. So they don't do African time. There's nothing like if it's 5, it's 5. If it's 12, it's 12.
Imagine imagine having a wedding in Nigeria and telling people that it's by 2.
Yeah.
I promise you by 6 o'clock you've not even started that wedding.
I
Because
know,
people
right?
are waltzing in at 6:37.
And it has to do even when you go for occasions, birthday parties, and they tell you it's from let's say 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Like once it's like 5:30, they'll start making everybody round up, have your drinks, make sure you're leaving, and all of that. So it's not like when you go for African weddings. I can remember they turn it into a nightclub.
Oh my god.
And then we stay there up until like 12 a.m. So yeah, I think keeping to time was one of.
I mean, I understand keeping to time, but for me, I would say I've always been a punctual person, and I've always been a punctual person because of my mother. My mother lived in England for a short period of time, so she always sort of imbibed that in us. Have to keep to time. She would make a lot of fuss about keeping to time and all of that. So I naturally am a punctual person. Even when I go to work, I start work at 7, especially when I'm on long days. I get to the hospital at 6:30.
Really?
Yeah, I get to the hospital at 6:30 and like, oh, you're always early. I said, yeah. So I'd like to just sit and relax first.
I feel like I'm still struggling with that, to be honest.
It's about setting alarms. That's the best thing for and I'll use work again for example because I start really early. Handover is at 7, so you're expected to be there before 7, and which means and I take a bus from here to work. If I have to walk from here to work, it's an hour. So if I take a bus, like 15 minutes ride. So if I factor in 15 minutes ride, 9 minutes to get to the bus stop, that's already like 25 minutes, right? And I have to get ready, shower, get dressed, and all of that. Pack my food, fix up the house or my bed and whatnot. All the stuff I have to do. It means that I have to be up before 6. So if I'm up before 6, I need to finish before 6. So my target is once it's 6 o'clock, I'm leaving this house. I get to the bus stop at 6:09. I wait there for a few minutes. I take the 6:15 bus that leaves at 6:18 or 6:19. The fact that I actually know my schedule. I know the schedule. I know the what time the bus comes. It's insane. But on some days when I'm super early, I get there before 6:05. I take the one that leaves at 6:05. So it's just about, and on my phone you have like a lot of alarms, like blaring alarms. Yes, I have a lot of alarms.
5 o'clock.
From 4:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 actually.
4 o'clock, 4:30, and you keep snoozing.
Yes, because I have a friend in Nigeria that I usually like call him and wake him up at 5. So especially now that we are 1 hour behind, the alarm wakes me up at 4, and I wake him up, and then I go back to bed. So yeah, I totally understand about punctuality and keeping to time. Yeah, it's something. Oh God, Nigerians are bad. No, honestly. We're horrible with keeping to time. We feel like the world is waiting for us. No, and I actually have in fact, I have a few. Amambi, I'm speaking to you in particular. If they say call a friend to come to somewhere, the person is late, you win 10 million. See, I'll pick Amambi anytime.
Anytime, anywhere.
It's because they almost guarantee that she'll be late. I love you, but you know that's speaking the truth. But yeah, keeping to time. Let's see. Okay, so one of the things that shocked me is the way they smoke.
Oh my god.
With absolute no regard. Like people smoke as early as 5 in the morning, and they smoke recklessly everywhere. The only places that they don't smoke are places that have clear signs that says do not smoke here.
Yeah.
So you see at the train stations, at airports, at hospitals, inside. In fact, we actually have an incident of a patient that smoked in a hospital. So yeah, it was something. She did actually light a cigarette in the hospital, because it's sort of complicated. I won't get in there, but it was an incident that happened, having someone smoke in the hospital, and there is a strict no smoking policy. In fact, there is a policy that you don't smoke in the hospital environment, including the environment, so like the car parks and whatnot, shops and whatnot. No, but people still, I mean, car parks, free air and
Free
all of
air.
that is an open place, so they still go ahead and smoke. And to be honest, you don't get any type of repercussions when you do that. But yeah, the way people smoke here, they're walking on the road, they're smoking.
Yeah.
They're at the bus stop, they're smoking.
Yeah.
They're shopping outside, they're smoking.
I feel like they wake up, they brush their teeth
with cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But you know what? I think it's because of the weather. It's so cold.
No, please. It's not about the weather. It has nothing to do, because we have people here who actually don't smoke, who are white people, and they've lived there all their lives and they still don't smoke. Do you get? It's just, I mean, and I don't have anything against smoking. It's just a vice. But the fact that, like, unprovoked, you are walking on somebody, what the hell? In front of kids, you have someone carrying a newborn, strolling on the road, and you're smoking. You're potentially harming your child. Do you get? Why? The question is, why? I'm not saying don't smoke. I'm saying mind your environment. You know, you will see someone with kids. Maybe they're coming to shop at Sainsbury's or Asda. They are walking into the place and they want to finish a cigarette. They are dragging their child and they're smoking, putting it out. So why?
I think I get what you mean.
Do you get? So it's quite alarming at the rate at which they,
the smoke.
And the fact that they do without regard of whoever that is around them,
the environment. They're used to it. That's why. I guess. It's a habit.
Oh well, it's not a. I don't want to say what I want to say before.
I feel like it's a habit. So I mean, it's very difficult to stop certain habits. So
people
they don't
who
care.
are addicted to sex, for example, it's a habit, but you don't see them having sex randomly as they walk on the road.
But they'll be thinking about it.
What's on your mind? Is it? Let's not dive into what people are thinking. It's a deep dark hole what they're thinking. But the point is, like, I don't know, I just feel like there's some certain level of constraints that should be applied, when you have a certain vice, and just put yourself together, to be honest. It's as simple as put yourself together, man. But yeah, that's it for me. What's another one?
Let me think. What's one thing that
I feel like there's so many things. Like growing up in Nigeria, Ed, I think that
it's the way their kids have so much awareness. Yes, like you see, they start to train them from a very young age how to be outspoken, how to choose, like the freedom they give them at a very young age is so alarming. And I think that's why they have a high rate of what's it called? All this transgender kind of thing. Them, they, their, we are.
There's many pronouns now. We can't keep up.
So we can't even keep up. So I feel like that was the shocker for me, because I know in a good way, it has its good side, it has its own bad side. In terms of being able to speak up, like if something happens in school, you can come back and talk to your parents about it. But the bad side of it is what is a shocker for me, because they have so much awareness, they have so much access to information, so much access to the internet, that they can feed in on anything that they see,
and everything.
And then in the long run, it affects the way they think, the way they make their decisions, and it even comes back to bite their parents on the foot, because they start making some awkward decisions that you can't even do anything about, because you've allowed it, and the culture itself allows them to be free. So I think that's a shock. I mean,
I understand that. And I understand having children having freedom and all of it. Like, let me give you an example. You know how growing up we didn't use phones?
Yeah.
Until we got to a certain age. I see kids in secondary school here and they have phones. Even back home now, it's like a popular thing. And I understand that, okay, maybe when you're at home, you should have a phone. So if you're at home, you can keep in touch with your parents and all of that. But I feel like having that sort of freedom, kids having that sort of freedom can be harmful.
Yeah.
being self-aware is fine, but I feel like without even giving them that so much access to the internet and everything that is happening in the world, I feel like there's a way you cultivate a relationship, or the relationship you have with your child, that no matter what they pass through in school, they'll still come home and tell you, you know, it doesn't mean you should shy away from conversations. And what I'm sexual conversations, for example, people, we grew up with the mentality that we shield such information and conversations. My mother is or was a nurse, retired a nurse. She would literally share out packs of condom. So if you decide that you want to have sex, be protected while you're doing it.
Really?
Oh yeah. She was that old. Even up until the part where we were in uni, almost graduating. Yeah.
I think it was when my mom got to America. That was the first time she called us to talk about sex. And she didn't even come out straight to say. She was like, when you know how African mothers are now, when you guys are be careful. And I'm like, why can't you just say it out?
Because then they will tell you, if you want to meet
I'm telling you, my mom doesn't even want to see you talking to a guy.
Yeah.
So I can relate.
But I feel like you can have such conversations with your child, and the important thing is that the information that they have is coming from me, not from their friends, not from all of them. And not even to the point, yes, when you have that information, when you have that conversation with your friend, you have the liberty and you're very free to come out. Oh, do you remember that thing we talked about the other day? Oh, this guy in my class or this my friend was telling me about it. Oh, this is what they said, and I can tell you and I can educate you. And I'm not saying painting it to the way that suits me. It's being honest and being open. We didn't have that. But I feel like even though here they have the internet is insane. Yeah. And I'm even saying this for an adult as I am. It's a very scary and a very crazy place. I can't imagine giving my kids unfettered access to the internet at that tender stage. I got Nigeria. I got that. Your grandmother. We're gonna go home.
You're gonna go
home. My God. No. You're going to go back home. I have a very good one.
Tell me.
But I will start with a song. Okay. Billionaire. Onyeji cash. Spending.
There is
shopping and spending the money. There is no. When you go for a birthday party here. If someone is doing a birthday party, and they invite us, you will pay for whatever you eat.
Yes. You have to come with your cash.
You have your card. That is insane. You invited me out. Let's start with that.
You took me out of my comfort zone.
Exactly. I could be naked on the bed, drinking wine, and binging on a show. But you took me out. I got a new dress, a new shoe, hair, did my makeup, took a taxi or a train, and if it's a location, distant location, I traveled all the way to there. I paid for my hotel and everything. Only for me to come to the party and I'll pay for the food and the drink.
Yeah, that's how it's
that is in Nigeria, when someone invites you for a birthday, you're coming
to enjoy yourself.
Money. You're coming to eat. The bill is on the celebrant, or whoever that invited you out. But and it begs to question that when you go on a date with a guy, for example,
who pays?
Who does it?
You split bills.
What? You said what? I can't even imagine it. I understand when I take a guy out and I say, let's say for instance, I'm dating someone and I was like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to take you on a date today. And we get dressed and we leave. I'm going to pay for the date.
Because you suggested
it. I suggested it. I said, oh, let's go on a date. I'm going to pay. But if you're a guy asking me out or toasting me,
it's different.
You want to get to talk to me, you want us to have a conversation, have a good time. We're going to this restaurant. You better have the money to pay. I'm sorry. Okay? You better have the money to pay. And if we're in a relationship, for me, because this is something I saw all the time, date night is a must. Oh, yeah. It doesn't have to be the most expensive date.
We
don't have to go to the Shard to have a date. we date within. We can go to somewhere as simple as Wagamama. And just have it. But the thing is, it's two of us going out.
Simple.
Wagamama is simple because Wagamama is affordable. You can have a decent meal for like what, 15-20 pounds.
Yeah,
exactly. There are more expensive places. If I said, and this is not like it's still very affordable. If I said, okay, let's go to Giggling Squid, we could have a date and our bill is like 70 pounds or 80 pounds. You know, if I say let's go to what's it called, something Woods, it's a very nice English place, and they have like steak and whatnot. We could finish eating and we'll be dropping £100.
Yeah,
you know. So the place, you know, there are more expensive places, and this is just like around me. This is not coming to London. So obviously, London, London restaurants, and of course there are very affordable places in London as well. But like I know that there are very expensive places. I need to be making money because even to say expenses is a problem. So you know, date nights are a must. We once in a month, once in 2 weeks or something, we have to go out. We have to do something fun. That kind of bonds makes a bond more, makes the relationship interesting and sweet and whatnot. So date night is a must for me. But the one I can say date every time, but boom, one but no, that wasn't time at the relationship opposite like that.
But what if you guys are splitting?
I would understand to split if I understand your financial situation. I wouldn't want to split all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying you would prefer someone who's gonna take responsibilities. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Because that's the same way when you come to my house, or if, for example, if we live together, if you come to the house, there's always food for you to eat. I'm always going to clean up after you and the house. You know, there are certain responsibilities that the male expect the female to do. And I'm not saying that because I don't want this thing to all come down to feminism and whatnot. This is not what the conversation is about. Feminism is not about gender roles. Do you understand? It's not about we're not fighting that we want to be the man. We're not fighting that, you know, respect us, we're the king. That's not it. Feminism is about understanding my role and you understanding your role and you respecting me in my role. And you can't say because this is my role, I'm beneath you. I'm happy to play my role, but that doesn't mean I'm beneath you. You respect me and treat me as a human being, as somebody who deserves to be alive, who is a deserving person, and you appreciate the responsibility and what I bring to the table, and not the fact that because I'm female, I don't matter.
Oh, I see.
And like I said, I'm digressing. This conversation about feminism is a deep rabbit hole. The world we live in, women are subjected to a box of you're a homemaker, your role. And again, this conversation I tweeted, oh no, not tweeted. I wrote something on Instagram, on Instablog about women. So I came across this video on Instablog about a lady who said the best time for women to get married is in the 40s. And she gave her reasons. I didn't bother listening to all of the reasons, but she gave her reasons why women should marry in their 40s. She made a couple of points and all of that, but some people will sit and seem sarcastic. And I said, yes, because the truth is the society has conditioned our brain to let women know that their total bane of existence is to get married at a young age, give birth, buy your children, and make your home. That is all you are good for. So when you see a woman coming to say, oh, I don't want to get married, or I don't want to give birth, at least have my own biological children I can adopt. Yeah, I don't want children. It sounds weird and it sounds abomination. Because why are you not? So to you, you're only useful when you are young and able to get married and able to give birth. If you pass that window of childbearing, you made a mistake now. Now, but like into 30, there is no. To be honest, there is problem. And they start seeing that there's something wrong. Are you too demanding? Is your taste too high? What is going? Why haven't you found the man to settle? Forgetting the fact that you actually are not the one to find the man. It's the man that's supposed to find you. And when the man haven't found you, what do? You wait. Like I tell my mom sometimes, Mom, I'll be traveling the world while I wait for the man to come. While I wait for the man to come. As it should. Do you get? So yeah, we've kind of
digressed
digressed a lot, and I've forgotten.
The line was, is it okay for splitting of bills?
Yeah, splitting of bills.
So how you come for a birthday party and
Oh
you're
my
meant
God.
to pay for, I have a birthday party to go on the 5th of February.
Voila.
And guess what? No, I was going to say something else. And she said, so I asked, so how much is it going to cost? Like, what's up?
The budget?
What's the budget? And she was like, no, that actually she's not into all that splitting of bills because she just moved as well. So she's like, and it's her 30th birthday. So she's like, she's not into all that. But if I'm bringing someone, the person has to pay. But she's just paying specifically for her
the
friends
people that she invited. Yeah.
So, and it kind of struck me because she's been here for like a year now.
Yeah.
So I was expecting the culture would have
to have-
rubbed off on her.
Oh yeah.
But she said, no, she's not doing all that. So it's kind of amazing to see that people still uphold
Well, yeah.
some of those things.
This is a singular issue, and this pertains to this person, right? Let me clarify. So I don't have an issue paying because I've had friends. We've gone on things. We go to our friend's birthday party, and we make a budget. But I understand that culture, even though it's a shock. I understand why they do it. To make money here is not easy. It's difficult.
That's true. That's true.
12-hour shifts, and I know how much I make.
That's true.
Do you understand? And then when you make a lot of money and the tax you pay, so you labor for every dime that you make. It's not something you just spend
like that.
Do you get? I understand because the thing I have a friend whose birthday is in March who invited me already to her birthday. I'm going to go, and she's like, oh, she really wants to she doesn't want anybody to come and because I'm bringing you out of your house, come and celebrate with me. I don't want you to come and start. You're already spending money coming on the train and all of that. I don't want you to spend more money, but things are tight for me. This and this and that. So maybe I can get half of the bill, and every other person settles half of the bill, which was a fair bargain, deal. It was fun. But even if my friend was going out and she invites me, I will still come and pay. Enjoy. See, shege management. That is the term. And I can, we'll come to that point. But shege management is a must. It's just that it was a shock when I got here and I noticed that if you chop, you pay.
If you chop, you pay.
What if you not made a mistake, you not have money? You not plan?
You have to plan. But the thing is, they always tell you.
No.
Sometimes they do. They'll be like, you have to pay. Except you have a white friend. They assume you should know. But if it's our people who are used to it, they'll tell you. They'll say, this is what it is.
Yeah. So you're aware. Because it's usually it's not something that you're usually used to. So you know before you know what you're getting into. I've seen Shege this Shege.
So let me see. What came to me as a shock? This one. The fact that it looks like there are guys everywhere, but they're actually no guys.
There's a phrase I wanted to say, but I don't want to
say.
Oh, torture.
Honestly, you go on the internet, you see them. For some of you who go to church, they're in church. But I mean, you're still single.
My mother, empty drum.
How do we explain that? So it's now, I think the term that they always say is now making sense to me.
What's that?
Which is, there are no guys abroad. You can't find guys.
I don't agree with that completely. And I understand.
So why are you single? And why am I single? Why are we both single?
I have a reason for being single. I'm single because I want to be single. It's a choice.
Okay.
Right? It's a choice. It's a personal choice. Because yes, while I agree that the dating scene is ghetto, the streets demand, right? It's a choice that I made because I wanted to be by myself and do other, like put my interest and my energy into other things.
So you've been meeting people, is that what you're saying?
Yes, I've been meeting people. I just don't want them.
Why?
Because I want to be alone. See, this is the thing I'm saying about Nigerians. When you want to, why? Why won't I be single? Why can't I focus my energy on work? What do I want to achieve this year with work? How many countries do I want to travel to? What businesses do I want to launch? Why can't I focus my energy on those things that I want Why do I have to focus my energy on why am I single?
Maybe because you need a partner. They say two heads are better than one, isn't it? So you can't do it all by yourself. What if you meet someone who is willing to?
I'm not trying to do it all by myself, but I'm happy at the moment. I want a break. A break from which is good. See, honestly, go on a sabbatical with dating. Tell yourself for the next 1-2 years, I'm not going to make everybody answer their surname. I'm not going to date. I just want peace of mind. There is a certain level of peace of mind when I come home. I know nobody's going to call me. If my phone rings, I know who's calling me. It's Abambi. That's the only way. When my phone rings in the morning, to be honest, throughout last year, right? When my phone rings, I can tell you, I can guess who is calling me. If it's not my mother, because my mother calls me almost every day. If it's not my mother or my siblings, my brothers will call me, my sister will call me, or Abambi is calling, or like you want to ask me, so but you always text me on WhatsApp, I know who is calling me at every given time. Do you get? And this is because I know that I'm not owing anybody, nobody's owing you. So it's just having that peace of mind. It's addictive. Sometimes it's not good, especially when you now decide, okay, let me go back
get used to it.
If nonsense and then make us say, no, I don't want stress. This is not what I want. But yeah, but I think it's not that there are no guys in the UK, it's that there are no guys that match up your level of energy and your taste. Or that you haven't found. Because I can tell you for a fact that there are guys, men.
Okay.
I know, I'm men somewhere.
Okay.
But it just depends on like the caliber of men that you want. Do you understand? What are you looking for? And what you're looking for, you might not find it in the places that you're looking for. Or you think that they will be in. You might be in a different place.
Okay, we'll take this off. We'll take this off here and we'll visit it later, personally.
Okay, what is another culture shock that I've had in this UK? Oh God, I had something in mind I was going to say. When I was talking about yeah, don't worry. Let me find another one. Culture shock is the work lifestyle here. The work lifestyle here is bloody. And I understand that maybe because I'm from Nigeria, we have a lot of flexibility in Nigeria, to be honest. 9 to 5 people, people work 9 to 5, work 9 to 5. First of all, the hours we work and the hours they work here is not the same.
I think it's because of the profession, to be honest. Yeah, because there's some people who work from home. And even in your field as well, you get to a certain stage. I think it's like band 6, band 7. The ward managers, they come at 9. No. Some of them they come at 10.
No, it doesn't work in nursing at all.
You're sure?
Yeah. So for every nurse, for most nurses that work in the ward-based care acute setting, so basically work in a hospital, you from band 5, band 6, band 7 that are ward managers, and this is specifically to ward managers. Not every band 7 is a ward manager. So you have specialist nurse in different, let's say a respiratory specialist nurse, or a critical care specialist nurse, or a diabetic specialist nurse. They're all band 7 and they work differently. But ward managers, everybody comes to work before 7.
Really?
Even if you're band 6, you get
but
to
they
work
leave
before
early.
7. The managers then leave early.
Like
so
5?
Like 4. Yes. So the managers leave early, but the rest of them is still a 12-hour shift. You do your 12 hours. And the reason is that the managers work Monday to Friday straight. So they only have Saturdays and Sundays off. The band 6s, people work 3 days a week, 37.7.5 hours. So you work 3, 3, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Or 3, 3, 4, 4. 4, 4. Do you get? And essentially for us in band 5, it's still the same thing. Our hours are short, our days are shorter, but the hours are still the same. And besides, managers are in a managerial role, they don't have to stay in life. And then I have other band 7s who are like site practitioners or managers or practitioners per se, that do a complete 12-hour shift. And let's not talk about doctors that do more than 12-hour shifts.
Do they?
Sometimes, yeah, if you're on call. Well, here it's 12-hour shift, 12, 13 hours, I think. So I'll ask my friends that are doctors, but yeah, it's in Nigeria they do a 24-hour call.
Okay.
you spend literally 24 hours or 48 hours in the hospital, which is madness, if you ask me. It's madness. But the work culture here is brutal. I don't think I've experienced. I think my issue, because of my field, most people I worked with were older women. Now water. Normally, they're very, if you're not, like I said, if you don't suck up to them, if you're not looking like you're a reverend sister, they automatically have an issue with you. And I don't always look like I don't even look like a reverend sister in the first place. There's something that happened in my ward. One of my colleagues are like, "Oh, you wear makeup to work," but I said, back home I always wore makeup to work. People who know me know that I always wore makeup to work. It was only since I came here that it felt like that the NHS wanted to rip me apart. I was in shambles. Oh my God. There was no time for anything else. And that's the thing about work culture here. If you don't consciously make out time to have a social life, you're not going to have a social life. Your life is only going to be about work. But in Nigeria, you can be finishing work at 5 and you're going to meet your guys then somewhere. Somewhere you are stepping immediately. And nobody's telling you, oh, wait a bit, no. That time, even the oga will not leave you come out first. So nobody's going to stop you. But here, if the person that is taking over from me is running late, of course I'm there. Who I want leave patients, especially people who are critically ill. Who am I going to leave them for? Do you get? It's just it's all uptight.
It's uptight. Rigid. No, I think the culture generally is uptight. They are too. They are too proper. I like prim and proper, but they are.
Now that there's another culture shock. Let me tell. I'm sorry that I'm taking your place, but let me tell you, the conservative life is disgusting. Yeah. And I'm sorry.
And you're gradually going into that conservative life.
Who is going into conservative life? Oh, because of
life.
Since
I came.
Are you gonna pay for my gas?
Since I came here, you came as me. No. But
Understand what I mean. If I was earning a lot more, I could afford to do all of these things. I could afford to leave my lights on and the heater on for a long time.
I think they just teach you how to manage. The system just brings you to.
Do you know the true meaning of conservatives for the political party?
Talk to me.
They feel like, and I heard this from either talk show or radio show or something. Conserving, like, the little you have to save it because you feel like the famine is coming. The more hardship is coming. So the small you have is enough. You don't need more.
Oh,
keep conserving, keep taking, keep holding. That is not how your economy will grow now. For you to make money,
you have to spend money.
Right? And people who we are spending money to are also going to spend to another person. It's circular.
It's a circle.
Exactly. The conservative nature of life here. The British people, and I'm sorry to say, the British people feel like, I don't need more. I'm okay with this for the rest of my life. And they're being fed that I'm okay with this. And it's gotten to a point whereby we know we're not okay with it. But it's being forced down on you because the entire country, let's not even get to that. The entire country is going on strike. Everybody, every department, every what do you want to call it? Teachers, nurses, doctors, firemen, ambulance, everybody, drivers, everybody is going on strike. Why? If that conservative nature was working so much, how long have the conservatives been in power? It would have worked. It doesn't work like that. Do you get? That's another nonsense shock.
Yeah, they conserve a lot. Like
one last shock, and we can wrap it, because if you leave us, we'll talk to tomorrow. Plenty. One thing, one last shock, culture shock that like God forbid. How do you people do this?
I think it's the community life. Yes, the fact that, like in my previous apartment where I live, I didn't know my neighbors. Like I lived there for like 2 years. I will tell you for a fact that I never saw my neighbors who lived upstairs.
Oh my God.
Honestly, until I moved out, I never saw any one of them. So it's not like back home where you know your neighbor. Even if you need salt, you need extra Maggi or whatever,
you go to your neighbor.
You just go to your neighbor and knock and they give you. But here, if you don't have anything, just walk down to the shop. I'm sorry. or you post whatever it is you're doing and get it the next day, maybe on your way back from work or whatever.
Because I know
there's no community life.
If even they pass my neighbor, I don't go to see my neighbor.
Exactly. Even when you go to the park, it's just that smile.
That awkward smile. Oh my God. Oh, you don't have to smile at me.
So sometimes when I even see people trying to have a conversation with me, I feel weird. I'm like,
yeah, okay, like, why are you talking to me?
I'm even used to it,
And this is why the dating scene in England is rubbish.
Yeah.
Because in Nigeria, you go out, somebody says, "Excuse me, girl, I want to talk to you."
Yeah, or can I get you a drink?
Can I take your number? Can we talk another time? Can we?
Well, you go to the pub.
No, for where? I've never actually been to a pub since I got here. Is that weird?
It's not. But
I actually would want to experience like going to a pub. Maybe
we should.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah. You just sit, have your drink, eat
chips. Yeah, something like a platter.
Yeah. But it's rare. I think it's almost impossible for someone to pay for your drink in order to talk to you. They might just walk up to you, but they won't pay for your drink or just walk up to you like that. Maybe if it's somebody who is used to coming to that pub and you're used to coming to the pub, it's going to take them a while to, but it won't just happen.
Yeah, on the spot. Yeah, I think you're right. The community lifestyle is absolutely,
because I can remember my friend told me then, he was like, if I had met you outside, I wouldn't have spoken to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a weird thing. Like,
so it's a shocker. Shocky.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please follow my friend.
Please follow me.
Follow my friend and subscribe to her YouTube. Yeah, if we sit down here, I promise you there's going to be a lot more things that we're going to spill. But for now, this is where we're going to end this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.